fresh home from doing 15 years. He's here to share his story. Ladies and gentlemen, on the line, I have 804 Ice. Man, let's go back to the beginning, dog. Tell everybody where you grew up.
East Side, California. A lot of people that's not familiar with that term, that's the East Side of South Central, but we just say the East Side or East Side, California. It's like its own city, so we call it East Side, California.
Yeah. Tell everybody what your upbringing was like, man.
I mean, I don't really consider myself as a person that had a hard life. I mean, that's the people on the outside looking in, because everybody that I grew up around had a similar lifestyle. But, you know, it's the trenches, bro. So it's gangs, drugs, you know, and all kind of, you know, street influences around the LA scenery, man. So, you know, growing up in that, I took that route, that street route, got involved in the gangs and all that stuff, you know, drug dealing, all that type of stuff, man. So, but I had a fun childhood as well, too. So,
what was a young 804 Icer like before you joined the street life?
Oh man, I had AVID classes. That's like the advanced classes, the LA school district. So, playing sports, bro. I always been into art, like writing, drawing, all that type of stuff. So, before I started, you know, getting to the streets, that was like more of my focus. Like, I was always intrigued with art and sports. That was like my first love. So,
okay. And what changed? What made you, you know, decide to go the street route?
It was just the environment, really, bro. Everybody got choices, so it's like, man, it's a culture. Like, anybody that's from LA know it's not something that's frowned upon. Like, when you're young, you don't really know the difference. You don't really know what you're getting yourself into. But it's like a culture. The gang shit is like a culture, bro, out here. So it's like, it's not something that's looked down upon. Like, you like, oh, you gambling with your life, or you wasting name. This, my friends, we was all doing the same stuff. So it's just something that I embraced and started doing. So it was like, it's like a harmless decision. Like, when you were looking at it from a kid's eyes, you feel me? So it wasn't nothing like, well, I was thinking, oh, I'm making a big decision with my life and nothing like that. It was just living day for day, being in the ghetto, bro.
Yeah. East Side of South Central has always been a rough area. You know, talk to us about the time you were growing up in the East Side of South Central, some of the things you experienced, what you were seeing out there in the streets.
I mean, the first time I ever seen somebody be killed, I was probably 6 years old, outside playing. But all this stuff was like, it's crazy to say that it was normal, because it was. Like, this is in the 90s. I'm born late 80s, bro. So all in the 90s, that shit was the murder capital, bro. So in 92, I think it was like 2,000.
Yeah, we had upwards of
2,100 murders or something like that. Yeah, like 2,500. Yeah, so it was like, but that was normal, bro. It was like, this is like, it's different, because it's YouTube and all this stuff now. So you got a lot of people that look at other people's life from the outside looking in. They could say like, man, that's crazy. And when you in the midst of it, and this is your reality, it's like, it's normal. So you don't know nothing different. You ain't, especially if you never traveled and never been nowhere else. Like, you would assume everything is like this. Like, this is how the world is. And this is just, you know, a part of growing up in life. You feel me? Like, yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, man. Tell everybody what gang you decided to join at a young age.
I got put on Swans.
Okay. Take us back to that day, man. What was, you know, mentally, what were you going through? You know, shit, you're officially part of the set now. All
my friends, bro, like me, I got a lot of family that's gang banging in the streets and stuff like that, but that wasn't something like that stood out to me, like something that I aspired to be when I was young, 6, 7, 8 years old. Like, oh, I want to be in a gang. I want to be a gangbanger. I had a lot of friends who was, because they had big brothers. My big brother got killed when I was 10 years old. So I didn't really have no big brother like, I want to be like him, or I want to be like that. My big brother got killed when I was 10, bro. So like, all my friends that had big brothers, a lot of them, that was their goals in life. Oh, my brother was gangbanging, so I want to gangbang too. So I was still playing sports and running around doing what I was doing. I had to walk to school with these same people. I was already making a decision. These are my friends. So some of them already was starting gangbanging. stuff like that. So me walking to school with them and dealing with the same stuff they going through. We don't have no middle school that's in our hood. So we went to middle school in the East Coasters, bro. So walking back from school with them or walking to school with him, you gonna get approached by the same people that they might be looking for them. I'm a kid. I don't got nothing to do with none of that, but you walking to school with them, so I had to face a lot of problems that they had already took up upon their shoulders, bro. So that was like my decision. Like if I'm already getting into situations behind my friends or you know, getting pressed or having a fight and stuff like that, I might as well, you know, be all the way in. So that was my decision. I'm like, now I'm gonna go ahead and get all the way in the paint with it. And then it just made me be honest. It made me not like those individuals. Like, cause y'all, you know, they say the ops now. Y'all on the other side. Like, y'all don't like my friends. Like, you feel me? So that's just what it was.
Yeah. Was your mom around and your dad around? Did you have both parents?
I had both parents, not in the same household, but I had a real father though. So that's one thing I say. Even though he wasn't in the same household, he had a challenging past, like a lot of people, but I still got to get a lot of wisdom, a lot of game from him. You know, my mama was around, but everybody had, you know, certain little street elements to their life as well that played a role in my upbringing, bro. So, but I had all the chances to make the right decisions, bro. I'm not gonna act like I didn't have because it didn't been worse. I know some people that didn't have a mom or a daddy, bro. So I had enough around to make better decisions, bro. But like I said, it's a culture. So when you're young, it's a lot of opportunity, bro. When you grow up in them type of environments, and then it's more intriguing. When somebody telling you like, oh, you can do this or do X, Y, Z, and you seeing everything else, like this look way more interesting than this shit. Like that shit you talking about sound bunk. Like this shit sound, I don't know, it seems like a little something more I want to do, especially when you're looking up to the kids, you looking out the window, the people that you looking up to, the people that's the teenagers that's older than you, looking like, man, you want to be like them. It's like your role model. So this everything they doing, you kind of like amplified in your mind, and you think that's more than probably what it really is. Like whatever they do, I want to do that because them the people I look at as cool.
Music wise, who was a young 804 Icer listening to, you know, around this time when you were active out there in the streets?
Oh, the Relatives for sure. Big Y, Big Rays. I like the Tupac. I was called, yeah, R.I.P. Big Y. Tupac. A whole lot of Southern influences. BG, Soulja Slim, a whole Hot Boys.
Crazy because you're naming a lot of people. The crazy part is you're naming a lot of people who are either dead or in prison right now. You know, that's crazy to me, man. I think BG's the only one that's out right now that you named. Yeah, but it was like, it was more the, really just hit different, bro, when you know that they doing the same thing that you doing. It hit a little different, bro. You could feel it more. So it's like, when you listen, you young, and you listening like B-Braze, Big Y, Soulja Slim, you listening to some type of people and they rapping about your lifestyle. I don't know, it just hit different than listening to somebody like some commercial music. Ain't nothing wrong with, you know, if that's what you like, but I don't know, it just hit different, bro. And that's, it just hit different. Yeah. I mean, I was always a civilian, and BG and Soulja Slim to this day are two of my favorites all time. That Soulja Slim album, it's crazy. That's a classic, dog. The one you got a song in there with Snoop that I still bump to this day called At the Same Time. At the Same Time. He had it, bro. These people was super talented, man. Like ahead of their time, man. Unfortunately, you know, they met their demise, but yeah, those was the people that I looked up to, man. They had a lot of influence on just how I want to present myself in the music, like how, you know. Yeah. Were you writing at this time, or when did you start writing, I should say? I started writing. Writing was like a jail thing, bro. So, like, when I would go to jail, I would write. So I never really took music serious, like getting out of jail, like juvenile hall camp, none of that type of stuff. I never took it serious. But every time I would go to jail, I would write. I always, like, inside my mind, I've been making music since a kid, bro. Since the first time I ever saw somebody else trying to make some music. I'm like, that's what they doing. They listening to beats and trying to. So in my mind, I'll be saying stuff
But thinking like, oh man, that shit probably sounds stupid. But in my mind, just thinking like, I could probably do that too. Just the competitiveness in me, seeing older kids like, oh, they trying to rap, or I could probably say something like that or something better than that, or trying to just be a part of what the older kids was doing. So I would always be, but writing was more like a jail experience.
Is it safe to assume that you did county time?
Yeah, I was in the county for 10 months, like throughout the whole, before I went to trial, like just that whole little time, like about 10 months.
I've heard many people say, you know, I've asked people, you know, what was worse, county jail or prison? And I think the majority now has told me that county jail was way harder than prison, especially for an active gang member. If I asked you that same question, what would your answer be?
I mean, none of it is really hard, bro. It's like, I don't know. That's like probably like a response from somebody who's like scared to like fight or be in that type of environment. It's not really hard. I liked it the county jail more because prison is more like a racial setting. Like, I'm not from a gang that got a racial, like we not a racist gang or a racist area. I didn't grow up in that type of area. So like racial politics is like, that shit ain't something that I like look at as like, oh, that shit is gangster, bro. So I liked it being involved in gang activity at that part of my life. So I wanted to be a county jail. It was no like you gonna be getting along or be around your enemies and nothing, no type of violence is happening. So I liked it that better. Like I can go, you know, at that time you still got a whole lot of, you young, so you want to do harm to people. That's what gangers is doing. I want to do harm to these people. I want to be around them. But in prison, it's more like it's just a different environment, bro. So me personally, I didn't really, it's all jail, so I didn't really care because it's level to this shit. I know people that was like, that was in the county thriving, but came in prison and couldn't like, they couldn't cope and couldn't deal with that type of environment. Feel me? So it's all different. And I know people that was in the county that couldn't thrive there, but came in prison and was more like, you know, so it's all different, bro. It's just, your mindset is going to get you through whatever. Mind over everything. So if you got a strong mind and your mind is in the right place, you're going to be able to stand up under all that shit. But that shit really like, the county, I mean, it's worse as far as like, I don't know, bro. I can't even really say it's worse because people actually get killed in prison. So ain't nobody get killed when I was in the county jail. I know people have been killed in the county jail, not when I was in here, but I can't really say it's worse, bro.
Got you. Tell everybody when you were released.
Released is April. It's April that just passed, April 18th. But before that, they sent me to a halfway house. They sent me to a little, it's like a state sponsored halfway house. So it's like you actually still doing your prison sentence. So I was there for 8 months.
Okay.
Then they released me in April. Yeah, April 18th.
Yeah, a lot has changed in 15 years in this world, man.
Oh yeah, most definitely.
All right, 15 years, just fresh out. Now, is it okay to tell everyone how you were recording your music?
Oh yeah, I was on every song, even the song, the FMB song you was talking about. I haven't released no songs. I have been recording music since I came on, but I haven't released no songs that I've recorded in the studio in the free world. Every song that I released so far has been recorded, was the songs I recorded in prison over the phone, over a cell phone.
Yeah, see, I'm a music lover. I'm a music nerd when it comes to that shit. And that just fascinates me how you could still follow your passion behind bars. But tell everybody how the hell you're able to, you know, because people have been doing it from the beginning. Can't think of the rapper from up north, Sacramento, who started, X-Rated, I think, used to record his shit from prison. Yeah. And then Draco recorded his stuff from prison. And like, you know, you explain how, because that shit sounds good, dog. You know what I'm saying? Like, how are you recording your music and making it sound that good from prison?
Basically, they got apps you can record on, and it's like the same way how you do in the studio, where you can like tweak with the engineering side of it, like play with the voice, make it sound, you know, like play with the how you doing on the engineering side. So you can, but that's when you first start off, like I never did none of this stuff on the street, so I'm not an engineer. I'm not really none of that, but I'm interested in art. So I go on YouTube and and look stuff up. How do I make my voice sound like this? That's why if you hear my earlier music that I did, you can tell like how it came further along. And then even better, like once I start meeting people, like my brother had hooked me up with my boy, shout out Timmy Lee. He a dope artist too as well. He up out of in the Empire, but he like a engineer on the side, an artist engineer on the side. I started sending my vocals to him and letting him fuck with it. So that was before I started trying to figure it out myself and going watching these tutorials and all that type of shit. But you can send your music. That's probably what like the dudes you were saying, like Draco and Mac Dre and all them dudes. They was probably, I mean, X-Rated, they was probably sending that shit to top of the line engineers. You know, these people know real like heavy steppers and shit. So they probably was sending that shit to real producers, getting that shit, you know, hooked up.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. That's dope, man. We're going to play some of your music in a bit. And like I said, I want to break down that specific song, FMD. But a couple of major incidences happened while you were locked up. And one of them is the big virus hit. YouTube is acts a little stupid when you talk about this particular virus that hit the world, you know what I'm saying? But it specifically, so we got to kind of be careful how we tiptoe with this question. But talk to me about your experience behind bars when, 2019, 2020, when, people started getting sick. Because I heard that the prisons got hit hard before people even knew shit was going on. Did you remember that?
Yeah, they shut visiting down for us. So, like that's a major component to just living, being in jail, period. Like, having outside contact. So if there's no visiting or no movement because you had to, if you was in school, like the teachers couldn't come, like you couldn't really interact with people. So it fucked up a lot of stuff, bro. So a lot of people was just basically in cell. Me, only thing I had a problem with during that time was the no visiting part for multiple reasons. But other than that, I'm like I don't want to say a loner because I'm not really a loner, but I enjoy my solitude. Like I like being by myself. I don't have a problem. Like some people they go crazy. I want me to chill by myself. Like I love being by myself, but especially in the environment where in prison you don't get to choose who you're around. So you will be around some people, and none of these people is people that's like your caliber of people or the people that you like to associate with. So I was never thrilled about just being around a gang of people. So I'm gonna come out. And go to yard and exercise and all that, but I wasn't never excited about being around people. So that's the only thing I didn't like was the shutting the visiting down.
Gotcha. Is it as bad as I've heard that? I mean, just people were getting sick, people were hiding their sickness, because they didn't want to, get solitary. Explain from a prisoner's standpoint.
They did. Once I was in a situation before where I got put on quarantine for having a cold. So, but basically I knew that I didn't have no virus, bro. So I didn't really want to go to the nurse because if I go to the nurse, even if you don't have a virus and just getting tested, they're going to quarantine. You feel me? So that's going to stop your visiting or whatever. This when they start opening up a little. So you had a lot of people, some people who had flat out was infected, bro, and they was hiding it because they didn't want to lose their visit or they didn't want to, you got to think, you got people that got life or got a long period of time to do. So you don't want to like uproot your whole living conditions. Like I've been in this cell with probably my childhood friend or somebody that I know or whatever business dealings you got, just whatever you got going on, bro. Now I got to move and go way over here to another yard and quarantine, come back. Oh, you never know what's going to be in change. So it was a lot, bro. Like, there was a lot that came with that. So a lot of you did have people that was high because a lot of people was getting sick. And it's crazy because I never even tested positive until I left prison. And I wasn't wearing a mask or nothing. When I got to the halfway house, I ended up getting COVID at the halfway house.
Damn, what a coincidence. Let's move on, man, because something that definitely changed in 15 years while you were locked up is the music game. A lot of things have changed, man. A lot of this rap is just going in a different direction. When you're behind bars, right, and you're hearing, of stories of people like Tekashi 6ix9ine, running around, claiming blood gang from New York, a little Mexican dude, and just acting an ass, and then he eventually ends up snitching on people, and then you hear just all the other crazy shit that's going on in the hip hop world. What is someone behind bars thinking of everything that's going on out here?
I mean, me personally, I never really like put stock into those type of situations, but you got dudes on the yard that talk about that shit all day. Like, I was more like in contact with the streets more like my family in the real world. If I had a cell phone a lot of times or access to it, or when I didn't, I was always on the wall phone. So I had like my own real life type stuff going on. So I didn't really like engage in that type of stuff. But I mean, you got stuff like that happening in real life, like in these communities that people represent and saying they from. So it's like, even though that was in New York, it's just everything is more publicized now, because you had these type of situations going on in the 90s, like death row type situations and Bad Boy Records, probably not to that extent, but it's just now everything is on YouTube, and majority of people is for sale now. So like a lot of stuff is like, it's to be expected when people is for sale, bro. Like a lot of people is for sale. So it's like, I mean, just my whole outlook on life, I got like a broader lens when I look at a lot of stuff, bro. So like a lot of people is for sale now. So a lot of people will do anything for some fame. So it'd be a lot of stuff that come with it. Before, me personally, I didn't really like get involved with it. Like a lot of I didn't really pay attention to it, bro. So I'm the type of people I spin away from. Y'all over here talking about Tekashi 6ix9ine in prison. There's real stuff going on in the world. Y'all over here talking about somebody y'all ain't never met, don't know, ain't never gonna see, don't even know y'all. Like, spin away and go. With most people in jail, your conversations, that's how I used to judge if I'm going to engage in a conversation with you. You're not talking about getting out of jail. You're not talking about getting some contraband that makes our life easier while we in here. Or you're not talking about like making some money. I didn't really have no like, I ain't really want to too much talk or conversate with nobody that wasn't on that type of level, because it was like frivolous conversations to me.
Thank you for tuning in to DustyVisionTV. Please hit that like button if you have not already. And if this is your first time joining the channel and you like what you hear, please hit that subscribe button. And if you enjoyed this video, you just might appreciate this bonus clip I'm about to play for you right now. OG Cartoon, a reputable from 5 Trey Avalon, he recently denounced BANGlN. He says he gave loyalty to the street, he gave loyalty to his hood, he gave loyalty to his block, and he didn't get any of that in return.
Giving their loyalty to a street that ain't giving its loyalty back. Giving their loyalty to a park, not giving it back. Giving their loyalty to an avenue, a group of people, whatever you want to bring it under heading, a gang, an organization, a group, you want to put it up under. They giving they all in all, and it's not giving its loyalty back.
What are your thoughts when you hear OG Cartoon say something like that?
Sound like the man had an awakening in his life. He looked in the mirror and didn't like what he saw and decided he needed to make a change. What makes me connect with that is that I understand when a man say, I'm tired of getting banged on everywhere I go, fighting everywhere I go, packing a gun everywhere I go, people looking at me crazy everywhere I go, wondering if I might die tonight no matter where I go, looking for ghosts over my shoulders every time I go, ducking shots every time I go, being ridiculed anytime I don't want to go, feeling like I have to when I don't want to, wondering if I should go at all. After all, I don't want no problems. I just want to have fun. I'm tired of running from the police, getting arrested, selling work, cheeking yay, swallowing work, getting choked by the police, stash boxes in all my whips, and still going to jail. I'm tired of going to the county, wearing blues, walking the line, listening to other niggas' problems all night, fighting other niggas' battles every day, eating bullshit food. I'm tired of juke balls, tired of lockdowns, tired of showering with niggas. niggas. Niggas starting to not look like niggas. Acting the fool because of somebody else's problem. Making problems for myself, making problems for other people. I'm tired of commissary. I'm tired of vending machines. I'm tired of collect calls. I'm tired of court appearances. I'm tired of staring at 12 in the box. I'm tired of sitting at the defense table. I'm tired of looking at judges and DAs. I'm tired of fucking plea bargains. Tired of talking about deals. Tired of thinking about package deals. Wondering, when is this shit gonna be over? When is it gonna pay off? When am I gonna get the chance to hold my daughter's hand? When am I gonna make the next graduation? Am I ever gonna be there for a birthday party? Is this shit ever gonna come to an end? I gotta sit in that cell, 4 walls, smelling somebody else's shit, cold as hell, hot as hell, mad as hell, feeling like I'm just living in hell. I'm tired, man. So I understand it. I feel it.
You know, one thing that we've talked about on this show is going against the grain. Sounds like he's going against the grain, right? OG Cartoon?
Man, the grain is starting to change. We living in an information age where it's undeniable. The statistics and the data ain't lying, man. We living in a time where you have to be a stone cold fool to look the statistics and the data in the face and say, "Oh, that's a lie. That ain't real. People ain't dying left and right like that. The murder rate ain't up." You know what I mean? This is a different time where you looking into your phone and you can see what's happening right around the corner. You can tell how many funerals they done been to. You can look and see what's really going on all around you. Not just in your locale, but all around the world. And the fact that we're no longer locked out of the institutions.
After they've been sitting in prison.
Sorry about that. I hit that clip. Keep talking.
The fact that we're no longer locked out of the financial institutions that kept us in poverty, we now have access because of the internet and the way that society has shifted with cryptocurrency and all of these different things coming into play. There ain't no reason to be broke. There ain't no reason to be homeless unless you're dealing with some type of mental illness or you're just going through something at a stage in your life. There is more opportunity than there has ever been before for people that have been marginalized and victims of institutional racism and other societal ills to get on their feet, to survive and to prosper if you just go after it. It's undeniable now. And people are waking up and saying, you know what? I'm tired of this bullshit. I'm ready to live.
Cartoon also said, when you get locked up for life in 20, 25 years, you are going to regret everything you did on the street.
The cold part about it, now after they've been sitting in prison 10, 15, 20, 25 years, they singing a whole different tune. They singing a whole different tune. They telling you how much they hate that they ever did what they did. They telling you that they wish they never would have done it. They want to talk to the kids and tell the kids not to follow the path that they took.
I'm the one singing a different tune. La, 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 la. Can't you hear it? Yeah. Yeah. After 5 years, it get old. And then 10 years go by and you realize, damn, I'm not even halfway through the sentence. 15 years roll around, you like, man, how much more of this I got to go? Another 10? Another 10 roll by, you got 25 in and you just now getting to the parole board for your initial hearing, which you can be put off up to 15 years if you don't get found suitable. Like, man, I've met people here at San Quentin that have been down 52 and another one that has been down 54 years.
Wow.
54. Charles Manson's crime meet lives downstairs from me. Man been down almost 56 years. Come on, man. Come on, man. He is the sweetest Christian man that you would ever want to meet. 56 years later, still walking the line.
Cartoon also said, when you get locked up, those same homies that were there for you in the street won't be there for you when you're locked up.
So many years they've been abandoned. They don't. Half of them don't hear from their homies no more. If they do, they ain't getting up with some bad news. Homies ain't sending them spit. If they do happen to get on the phone and catch up with somebody, hey homie, send me this and this. Oh, I got you. It don't never come. It don't never come. Cause they don't care. You gone. Out of sight, out of mind. Your immediate family you depending on. Cause the set ain't sending you nothing. Set don't even remember you. Ain't sending you spit.
So I mean, there's some truth to that. It varies from situation to situation and person to person. Some of us have made friendships and bonds with people from our past life, our gang life, and some of those friends have been able to transition out of that. They made it out of prison. They're making a living for themselves, and they will reach back if you can get in contact with them. But one thing you got to take into consideration is that ain't nobody going to take care of a grown man. That's not going to happen. You know, you'd be lucky if your mama or you got a wife or a sister that care enough, maybe a brother or a cousin, to throw a little something your way. But at the end of the day, when you grown, you got to be grown, whether you in prison or on the street. So the fact that, you know, people from the set, the gang and all of that type of stuff, they don't look out. How can they look out? Most of them can't look out for themselves. They dependent on somebody. They dependent on government benefits. You know, most of them don't have the life that they want. So how am I help you? They got to help themselves. And that's something that we don't never take into consideration until we're in a jam, until we're in a situation and you got to call on somebody. And instead of them just saying, nah, I don't do that. I can't take care of no grown man because you the homie. They just kind of ghost you, you know? But it is what it is.
Yeah.
You know, I've had the fortune of having some over the years that have looked out, and I've been the one on the outside that had to throw a few dollars towards my people, you know, that was locked up at the time. But, you know, at the end of the day, man got to be a man, and you got to stand on it.
See, I feel uncomfortable with the fact that you sent me links to Tania's daughters on Twitter.
Really, nigga?
Come on, man.
What the fuck did you just say?
Let me get straight to the point. I was listening to the Adam and Wax show the other day, and I heard something that I thought I'd never hear an adult admit live on YouTube. I and thousands and thousands and thousands of other people heard Wack 100 say he shared a link with Adam. The link Wack 100 admitted to sharing with Adam 22, owner and host of No Jumper, is that of a girl named Nova, who is not 18. She's not even close to 18. And in that link that Wack admitted live on air to sending to Adam 22 were of this girl, Nova, doing things that only someone over 18 should be doing by law. Apparently, this girl sells content online that she should not be selling at her age by law. And of course, there are a bunch of creeps out there who are okay with it and buy it from her. I'm trying to keep it as clean as I can for YouTube guideline purposes. In a nutshell, Wack 100 sent Adam 22 a link to child.
No, you
I didn't click it. I told you it was out there, but I told me I didn't see it.
You said
I don't want to see that.
Listen, you said it was links. I said links to what?
People told me that it was out
I
there.
had no
I didn't
idea.
go find it.
I had no idea. I didn't either. I put my team on it. I wanted to see if it existed.
Really, nigga?
I've heard some crazy things on No Jumper in the past, but I never thought I'd hear someone openly admit to sharing this kind of material with another adult. I don't care if Adam clicked on it or not. The fact that Adam received these links and didn't report it to the authorities is wild. The fact that Whack 100 shared these links, knowing what they were and knowing they involved someone not of age, is wild. Now, last I checked, it was not legal for two adults to be sharing this kind of content, whether the receiver opens it or not. I thought maybe I was tripping. Then I went to the comment section of this video and I realized I wasn't tripping at all. Many other people were bothered with this grown adult admitting to sending CP, I'm just going to refer to it as that from here on out, sending CP to another grown adult. Here are some of the comments from this video. I'm just going to read them as I see them. Someone says, wait, so Whack is openly admitting to sending CP to people? What is going on? Someone else said, Whack shared CP. We finally got him, y'all, and it came out of his own mouth. Someone else says, Whack, you know you done fucked up, right? You know you done fucked up. Another person says, bro, why the F would y'all think it's smart to talk about that in the beginning? Someone else says, Whack sharing CP is wild. He's crazy. If he doesn't get booked, more proof he's a fed. Someone else says, both of them know good and well they watched that ish. Someone else says, so Whack had his team look for CP on the internet and they watched it, then described it to him? Crazy work. Someone says, wow, so y'all watching CP for content? Y'all boys, weirdos for real. Someone else says, just casually discussing kitty corn is nasty work. I am not the only one who thought this was weird. Yeah, if any of my friends ever sent me something like this, not only would we not be friends, we for damn sure wouldn't be business partners. And yes, the first thing I would do is alert my local authorities and let them know what my friend sent me. I don't care if we've been friends for 20 years. If you are okay with sending me stuff like that and risking me opening it and catching some weird case, we will never be friends again. At this point is where our friendship would end. Now, for anyone who doesn't know the Tania and Nova story, Tania is the mom, Nova is the daughter. They first got big off of their appearances on a very popular YouTube channel called Soft White Underbelly, where a dude named Mark interviews a lot of street people who do a lot of street work. Read between the lines, once again, for YouTube guideline purposes. But they both, for lack of better words, sell or have sold their bodies. It's a very interesting story. It's a very sad story. And it's a sad reality knowing that someone this young is involved in a life like this. And it's even a sadder reality where two adults, Adam 22 and Whack 100, are sending each other links to CP. I don't have anything personal against Adam 22 or Whack 100. They're both businessmen doing their thing. I just think, and I'm not accusing them of doing anything with anyone who is not of age. I'm just saying it's a bonehead thing for Whack to have any access to those links. It's a bonehead move to send another adult those links. And it's definitely a bonehead thing to admit on a podcast. What do you guys think? Have you seen the full clip of this no jumper video? If not, I'll put the link in the description so you can check it out. Very disturbing to me. I found it very, very disturbing, but I would love to know your thoughts. What do you guys think? Please comment down below. And please hit that like button if you have not already. And if this is your first time joining the channel and you like what you hear, please hit that subscribe button. And if you enjoyed this video, you just might appreciate this bonus clip I'm about to play for you right now. A kid that goes by the name of Lil Brazy 30Z. Maybe I'm saying his name wrong. It could be Lil Brazzy, but I'm going to go Brazy because apparently he is part of the red team. And he's out of Utah. Lil white dude. Out of Utah. Ogden, Utah. Shout out to Ogden. This has nothing to do with Ogden. I ain't saying nothing about Ogden not being about the life because I know there are a lot of people who are not in LA who are about that life. And I don't know what's going on in Ogden, but it could be popping in Ogden. So shout out to Ogden. But this kid, Lil Brazy 30Z, has me and the rest of the world looking at Ogden, Utah. A little bit interesting right now. White kid, and I listen to some of his music, and he's not bad if you enjoy today's music. I'm not a huge fan, but I keep my ear to the street, and he's not bad. You know what I mean? Compared to, he's not bad. You know what I mean? If you like today's music. But today, I was listening to a clip, and it went left. Not in a way that I expected. Adam 22, Lush, and this kid, Lil Brazy 30Z, I gotta mention, he's 15 years old. So he's a young kid, 15. Adam 22, who is the host of the show, Lush, who is a co-host, started having a conversation, and out of nowhere, Adam started talking about cock rings. Cock ring, yeah. See, I'm trying to be good for YouTube. What is a cock ring? All right. I'm bleeping out a certain word. What does a rooster say in the morning? Cock-a-doodle-doo. Yeah, see, you could say it in that context, but when you say it with the other word in front of it, it's like that radio. YouTube is true, man, whatever. Anyway, that's not the point. But Adam started talking about cock rings. And if you don't know what a cock ring is, it's a device that's used around the male member, usually during sex, to enhance pleasure to a man when he is about to bust a nut. I've never used one. I have no idea. I not even going to go there. Never used one. The original orgasm is the shit, so I don't need to do any other things to make it better. Like, busting a nut is already the shit. So, like, there's no way to make it better. But some people say put two fingers up your butt. Never mind. That's a whole other story. But Adam 22 and Lush started talking about cock rings in front of this 15-year-old kid. Yes. Now, I thought that was interesting. I thought that was a very interesting conversation to be having with the 15-year-old kid. I'm not going to play the content because although Adam says it's okay for people to use his content and make money off of it, if Adam wakes up tomorrow and decides, you know what, I'm going to give copyright strikes to every channel that uses my content for profit, he could do that. As a content creator, the YouTube algorithm is so good that we get a pop-up from YouTube saying such and such YouTube channel used your material. This is the video. Here is the timestamp. Happens all the time. Happens to me several times a year. I'm sure it happens to Adam several times a minute because they have a huge fan base. But when we get that pop-up saying that another channel has used our content, At that time, we have three choices. We can let it slide, ignore it, which apparently is what Adam does. He says, let them use my content because it's more advertising for me. So we can let it slide. We can contact the person directly and say, hey, you're using my content without my permission. Please remove it, or come up with some sort of agreement, to maybe monetary, whatever. Or we can say F all that and just send them a strike notice. If Adam woke up tomorrow and decided, F all y'all, I'm tired of this shit, he could ruin so many YouTube channels, all those YouTube reaction channels who think they're protected under fair use. That's a joke. Yeah, you who make the content off of Adam 22, you're making 1,000, couple thousand, few thousand a month. You play his clips, you talk shit about him. If anyone knows about YouTube copyright strikes, if you get 3 copyright strikes in 90 days, your channel is done. Done. I know there are channels that survive strictly off of no jumper reactions. Be careful with that shit. So that's why I'm not going to play the audio from No Jumper. But yes, the main thing I thought about when I was watching this conversation about cock rings with a 10-year-old kid in the room, I thought, this shows you the double standard in our society. Would Adam be having this same conversation, this same discussion, if he were sitting next to a 10-year-old girl? Would it be okay? My guess is this little conversation just went right past a bunch of people. They didn't care. But think about that. Think about if they were having that same conversation on No Jumper, platform that gets millions of views a day. Think about that for a second. If instead of a 15-year-old boy, that was a 15-year-old girl. Hollywood is real. And these are the conversations these kids are exposed to at a very young age. And it's just very interesting that we got a chance to see it in real time. I think that's weird. What do you guys think? Do I just overthink things? Do I overthink things? Some people tell me I overthink things. Sometimes I do. Sometimes I think I do. But I don't think I'm overthinking this thing. I think this is crazy that they were having this conversation in front of this young man. But that's just my thoughts. Let me know what you think. Comment down below. And please, if you haven't already, hit that like button. And if this is your first time joining the channel and you like what you hear, please hit that subscribe button. Now is not a good time to be a criminal. They're on your ass, man, especially in Los Angeles. You guys have heard about the Hoover, Rico, and more things are going to happen because the 2028 Olympics are right around the corner. And they are going to clean this bad boy up just like they cleaned up before the 1984 Olympics. And what does that mean? They are going to lock a lot of melanated people up. Why? Well, because we commit most of the crime. Right? Can we stop acting like that's not the reality? So yes, I'm telling you right now, if you're a criminal, it might be a time to think about a career change. Maybe, I don't know, get into plumbing. Be a Lyft driver. Uber Eats. Something, because they're coming for you. Bad boys, bad boys. What you gonna do? What you gonna do when they come for? They're coming for your black ass. They're coming for your brown ass. So yes, we know the Hoover situation happened a couple weeks ago. Well, a bunch of people from the Rolling 30s and the neighborhood 5-5 Crips were arrested in a sting. They're called the Rich Rollin' Gang, and they're responsible for over 100 burglaries in Los Angeles.
A major LAPD operation lands 10 men in custody, all suspected of being part of a gang tied to nearly 100 West Side break-ins. It was a
West Side,
coordinated
get the
effort to
money,
get the
yeah,
crew
that's
off
for
the
sure.
streets.
Chief Jim McDonald says the arrests were made last Wednesday after warrants were served at 8 homes in LA and neighboring cities. Officers seized guns, ammunition, high-capacity magazines, cash, and valuables. The suspects' ages range from 20 to 47.
These individuals represent the kind.
If you're 47 and still flocking, you ain't shit. Flocking for my white friends out there. That means robbing motherfuckers, basically.
Kind of repeat offenders we're targeting through our crime suppression strategies.
Mayor Karen Bass says murders are at a 60-year low in LA, and overall violent crime continues to go down.
We know that there's a lot more to keep every Angelino safe, but let me be clear, we will not stop doing whatever we need to do to combat crime.
In addition to bringing charges against the burglary suspects, the LA County District Attorney says his office will also go after anyone who accepts stolen goods, like pawn shops.
Or yo black ass who buys something on Instagram because the homegirl got the new gear all the time. The homegirl got the new gear all the time, man. Yeah, old girl down the street, man. You know, Nina, she got everything, player. You think the feds aren't watching this, dog? They're just building up so much stuff so they can come and get your black ass. And they ain't even have to leave their air-conditioned office to do it. They just scroll up and down Instagram and watch you post it. Hey, I got that new Fendi bag, HMU. Best offer. I got these glasses, man, $500. Going once, going twice. Price tag still on them. They're tracking you, dumb niggas, man. It's embarrassing. Aren't you embarrassed of yourself? Still be doing that? Who's that 47-year-old person that got arrested? Aren't you embarrassed, dog? 47 years old? 27? Kind of understand. I'm 40. I'm over 47. Come on, dog. Really? Look, man to man, look at me. You're 40. Let me put my fucking. You're 47 years old. What are you doing? Get a job, you loser. See? How do you expect me to feel sad for this person? I can't. But they're coming for your ass. They're coming for you. And I got friends all over in different hoods, different sets. And most of them are out of the life. 99.9% of them are out of their life. I really don't hang around people who are active and things like that. So I have no love lost for these people. I'm sorry. Get what you got coming to you. Sorry. I hate to say it, but you brought it on yourself. And if you're a criminal right now, look at stories like this. Because they're going to lock your ass up till, when's the Olympics over? After, you're going to come out in fall 2028, right after the Olympics. They'll be like, yeah, we'll let him out. But he just stole a candy bar. Remember those 90s crime bills? You remember that, huh? Come on. A lot of your cousins and uncles are just getting out of prison from serving 25 years for stealing a candy bar back in 1999. Come on, man. You think they ain't going to do that again, dog? Trump has already said he's coming after everybody. Look out. And once again, I have friends from all over. But if you're an active gang member, I have no love lost for. Sorry, dog. Do you get... Damn. Yeah, he was a homie, but sorry, bruh. Sorry. Peace, man. Gotta go. But what do you guys think? I would love to know your thoughts on the matter. The Rich Rollin gang in Los Angeles. They call themselves the Rich Rollins. Over 100 burglaries. Let's give them one more listen. The Rich Rollins. Man.
A major LAPD operation lands 10 men in custody, all suspected of being part of a gang tied to nearly 100 West Side break-ins. It was a coordinated effort to get the crew off the streets.
Chief Jim McDonald says the arrests were made last Wednesday after warrants were served at 8 homes in LA and neighboring cities. Officers seized the guns, ammunition, high-capacity magazines, cash, and valuables. The suspects' ages range from 20 to 47.
These individuals individuals represent the kind of repeat offenders we're targeting through our crime suppression strategies.
I do not give you no
Mayor
break.
Karen
Hey,
Bass
bad
said
boys,
the
bad.
60-year
Sorry,
low
back to
in
the.
LA, and overall violent
Get
crime
excited doing
continues
this.
to go down.
We know that there's a lot more to keep every Angelino safe, but let me be clear, we will not stop doing whatever we need to do to combat crime.
You're not. You still need to keep
In addition to
keep at
bringing
it, Karen
charges against the
Bass.
burglary suspects, the LA County District Attorney says his office will also go after anyone who accepts stolen goods, like pawn shops.
They're coming after your ass. Don't think just because you got away with it, you've been getting away with it for a few months, maybe even a few years. Oh, they're coming for you. And my people were the only people. We take pride in balling out for 5 years so we can do 20 behind bars. It's crazy. That makes absolutely no sense to me. We'll ball hard from 2020 to 2025. Then we'll spend 2025 to 2045 locked up behind bars. And somehow, it's the white man's fault. Somehow it's the man's fault. Somehow it's reverse racism. Somehow it's slavery. Nah, nigga, get a job, dog. You're 47 years old and you're still out flocking? It's a goddamn shame. But what do you guys think? Comment down below. Let me know what you think about the rich rolling gang getting caught up. What do you guys think about them coming for more? Because they are coming for more, especially in Los Angeles. Oh, you trust me. Come 2028, Los Angeles is going to look like it did back in the day when it was just, you could walk down the street and feel safe. It hasn't been like that in about 40, 50, 56, probably, damn, 180 years. But I feel like we're going to be getting there. We just got to keep hard on crime. I'm all for it. I'm all for being strong on crime, man. The older I get, I'm all for it. But what do you guys think? Comment down below, please. And please hit that like button if you haven't already. And if this is your first time joining the channel, you like what you hear, please hit that subscribe button.